You're listening to the All Elite Podcast, your favorite AEW fan podcast for in-depth analysis and discussions about the #1 growing brand in professional wrestling today, All Elite Wrestling. This podcast is broadcasted live on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch on behalf of the No Holds Barred Network. The network is your source for wrestling interviews and podcast content featuring independent wrestling and AEW. Also, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So sit back, relax, and interact in the live chat. Enjoy the show.
Welcome, everyone, to the special coffee edition of the All Elite Podcast right here on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. I'm your host, as always. I'm just woken up Kyle Masters, as my eyes are not even quite wide open yet. I'm your self-proclaimed greatest host. I just said it. See, look, I'm not even awake. I'm just going to do my intro again. This is my co-host. She's over here. Her name's Tiffany. Yada, 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 yada. That stuff, you know. Queen of light tubes and shit.
Yeah, you really need, like, your coffee. Fuck.
She's got light tubes in there. I don't know. She's a queen of something and indies.
Damn. I don't even get a proper entrance. Like,
you got a coffee. Look what I put on the screen. See the little thing? I put a coffee thing, a little coffee gift just for you on screen.
Thank you. Kyle knows, like, I'm all about my gifts and all that shit. So.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Good morning. This morning edition when we're recording this live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, Mars, Venus, Mercury, wherever you're watching this live. Welcome to the All Elite Podcast, officially sponsored by, up there, Manscaped. Ladies and gentlemen, Manscaped is amazing. Guess what? With Manscaped, ladies and gentlemen, you can get right now. They have a new package. I'm not talking about the package. I'm talking about a package, Tiffany. The 4.0 Performance Package. Here for the summer. It's awesome. It's time to bundle up with Manscaped, y'all. The Performance Package 4.0. Inside this package, you know, not mine, but the actual Manscaped package, you're going to find the Lawnmower 4.0. It's a brand new lawnmower. You know, you always got to get that new lawnmower for the summer. Get that fresh cut grass down below. Weed whacker ear and nose trimmer. Yeah, you know, you can, if you do that to your ear, I don't know what Tiff just did. If you're doing that to your ear, you might need to rethink your life. But crop preserver, ball deodorant, crop reviver and toner, performance boxer briefs, which are awesome to have, by the way, and they're super comfortable. They're probably my favorite pair of boxers. I'm not kidding you. It keeps the boys nice and, you know, feels nice down there, you know. Good job with the performance underwear there, Manscaped. And a travel bag, all the travel bags.
Yes.
They're nice. They're bougie. They're nice and bougie, those travel bags. But first off, the new Performance Package 4.0 includes the new Lawnmower 4.0. It's truly the GOAT of all man body trimmers. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof. You know, same with the Lawnmower 2.0, and it uses a 9,000 RPM motor powered 360-degree rotator dual blade system. Seal the deal with Manscaped liquid transformation before heading outside. Use crop preserver. It's really nice. Smells really nice. Down under deodorant to keep you on your game in the heat. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts with the Manscaped Performance 4.0 package with the boxers and the Shed travel bag. So get 20% off and free shipping at checkout, guys. Use code AEPSHAVE at checkout. You're going to save 20% again and free shipping at manscaped.com. Stay fresh this summer and shine with Manscaped.
Ooh, love it. I need a ring light.
Oh, hang on a tick. As I'm holding my coffee cup here. In the chat right now.
Hey.
All the way from Denmark. I don't know. It's probably a later time for you guys. I'm assuming. Yeah, because is it ahead? Yeah, they're ahead.
It's 3 o'clock.
Maria Ling.
It's 3 o'clock.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you're in a live chat right now on YouTube, she is the best. I think I'm going to call her the elite artist on social media right now. 3 p.m. where they are. So she's right in the afternoon. She is the one responsible for those beautiful BT outshirts you see of Matt and Nick. She's done a lot of designs where a lot of wrestlers, I think the Hybrid 2.0 still wear their shirts. That's designed by Maria. Maria's gave me and Tiff the care package that we did on the Patreon page for the No Holds Barred Network. It was amazing. And Maria, you're just awesome. Big fan of ours. We love you. And I guess good afternoon to you. Well, it's a good morning to us. Let me just take another sip of coffee.
Yes, the outros are great. Man. Yeah, Kyle needs some more coffee. How am I like up? You're usually up more than me. And like I'm thinking like Kyle's gonna be so extra. And I feel like I'm extra this morning.
See, because people don't see me when I wake up early for work. This is how I am at work, and it's a good thing I don't talk to people because I email in the morning. I'm sitting there like a zombie at work going.
That's okay. I'll be extra for everybody today. So,
and I just took a couple sips of my coffee. I haven't drank it yet.
Have some coffee.
Beautiful Tim Hortons Canadian mug.
It's been a while. We still got to do a coffee edition on the pod, on the Patreon.
Yes.
Bring back that
maybe not at 9 in the morning.
Yeah. So
maybe when I'm a little like chipper. But yes, so audio listeners, I'm sorry if I sound like the living dead.
Throwing shit all over the place.
Throwing shit. But if I sound like the living dead, because we're doing the only time me and Tiff could get together was literally right now this morning because we have busy lives.
Apologize. I'm actually going somewhere. I got a podcast tomorrow. But I think next week, the following week, I think we're gonna do the Monday after review.
Dynamite again.
Yeah, because it's Dynamite. You killing us doing freaking Friday nights.
But
and then I can't watch it till like Saturday or Sunday.
So then what are we going to do the next week? Because it's on Saturday.
I haven't done my July schedule yet.
Are we going to do Are we going to go crazy? Because I don't know. Wait, I don't remember what time the Saturday show was. Because if it's earlier than 10, I'd be willing to come on here live after Dynamite.
I don't remember.
We do a rocking Saturday night edition of AEW.
Oh, the 26th?
Yeah.
It's Saturday? I'm not going to be here.
Well, there's that.
Sorry. Saturdays I go out to the indies, man. Like this is what happens. So I'm never home on Saturdays.
God, I can never be. Oh yeah, so Maria, it would be 4 a.m. for Maria if she ever watched this regularly.
Oh God.
I'm sorry, Maria.
Don't do that. Get your sleep. Get your sleep.
Yeah, don't wake up 4 a.m. for us. I wouldn't.
Wake up 4 a.m. for Brandon Cutler. I saw that
Dammit,
tweet
Cutler.
that she put that tweet out that she was like, I stayed up for you, Cutler. Like
that's fantastic.
It's great.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ollie Podcast. If you are new here, it's usually where myself, when I'm a little bit more chipper, and Tiffany talk about everything in that AEW world, from Dark, Elevation, BTE, Dynamite, everything that's covered in AEW. We got you covered here. We like to have fan discussions with you in the live chat, so get active in those live chats, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or Periscope, and let's talk some AEW. This week, it's going to be, like I said, not a shorter episode, but we're really just going to talk about Dynamite, to be honest, because really nothing much to talk about. I mean, Tony Khan only went on Busted Open Radio and just said what happened on Dynamite. Like, he said, like, they were going to announce the shows. Like, so I have the poster here. So all of July is, like, special month. Like, every episode in July is a special episode of Dynamite. So, like, it's basically like a pay-per-view month.
Right.
And this is cool because this is the July is when they go back on the road.
Thank God.
So on July 7th, when they're in Miami, they're using it's the same graphics as their last Bash at the Beach or Beach Bash, but it's called Road Rager. So the July 7th in Miami will be Road Rager. The next week in Austin, Texas, it's going to be Fyter Fest Night 1. The week after in Garland, Texas, it will be Fyter Fest Night 2. And at the end of the month in Charlotte, North Carolina, at the Bojangles Coliseum, it's going to be Fight for the Fallen.
Yeah.
So it's an entire month of special Dynamites. That's crazy.
Is it like Merry Christmas for us or something? Like,
I guess, like, I imagine there's going to jam-pack. They have to jam-pack every episode because this is your first time on the road in over a year.
Right.
So these Dynamites are going to feel special. I mean, they already booked a strap match. Cody's got a fancy with strap matches, man. What's going on, man? Is that his second one in
Is
AEW
he
so
like,
far?
it's just some crazy stuff. Like, hey.
I mean, whatever you want to do in the bedroom, Cody Rhodes. Keep that to yourself. Listen, baby. Listen, son. I know you like the strap, baby, but
I can't deal.
But yeah, that's cool. All of July,
Yeah.
all special event Dynamite month, which is really cool. I'm excited for those, and I'm just excited to hear fans again. Like the last night, not last night, Friday night. It's because I watched it last night. It was weird because it was the piped in noise, right? Because they had the regular wrestlers surrounding the ring, but it was that piped in fake crowd noise, which I hate. Because any sport you watch, it's not just AEW. Any sport you watch and you hear that piped in crowd noise, it sucks because it's not authentic. You don't know what the crowd would be cheering, what they'd be booing, and who is going to go over. And just look at Double or Nothing. We knew who got over big time. We knew who didn't.
It's hard. It's hard. Even like me going to all the indie stuff and being live and having that crowd, it's needed.
Right.
So it's weird, but yeah. So at least we're getting back. We're on the road again. I'm excited.
I just can't wait to be at one of these events and be in that crowd because I know for like the next couple of months, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be loud everywhere they go. Like, it's gonna be like a whole tour because cities are dying for AEW. The cities that are dying for AEW, when they finally get there, they're gonna be loud. So until AEW's done like a full tour of the states, it's gonna be loud in every city they go to for the next couple of months. So it's gonna be great to see on TV. This past week too, it kind of sucks. I mean, he's done this before, so I mean, it does suck if it's gonna end up being true and you can't anymore. But Lio Rush did retire right after signing with New Japan and AEW. And Tony Khan put out this statement saying, Lio Rush reached out to me today. He shared that he planned to announce his retirement from pro wrestling tonight. While the news was unexpected, I'm glad that he's made a choice that he's confident that'll make him and his family happy. Leo is a great talent, and I enjoyed briefly working with him, and I absolutely wish him the best. So even from that statement, you can kind of read a little bit between the lines. Like, whatever you want to do that's fine. Like, do whatever makes you happy. Because Lio Rush has done this in the past. So, like, we don't know if this is going to be something again where, like, he thinks he should just retire and then he gets a surgery and, a year from now, he's fine again.
Well, I feel like in the world of wrestling, like, retirement is never really retirement. I mean, you see it like all the time.
Unless you're like Ric Flair's age or even then.
Yeah, but there's always like somebody that can always bring you out of retirement. I mean, I see it in the indies all the time and like define retirement, because even like you're saying retirement and then it's like, oh, I thought you just did this retirement tour. And then like, here you are showing up at wherever, and I see it a lot. So the nice thing with Lio Rush is that at least like he mentally got back into a really good place. And then like I got to watch him a lot, have these dream matches and these amazing matches in like the indie scene, and to like really see him like show up at AEW. I wish we would have saw more in the Battle Royal, than what we got.
Or like one-on-one matches.
So damn good. Like, I would have liked to see him a little bit more in the ring though during that. Yeah. Because like the pop for that, like I popped. So it's better that he does it on his choice. And like I said, we've got a lot of great dream matches with him.
Yeah. So hopefully, I pray that I don't want to pray that his retirement is wrong. I want to pray that it's, he does eventually, maybe he finds some sort of therapy that heals his injury. He comes back and he's great. Oh yeah. Conrad in the chat. Good morning. Connor, I'm sorry, I don't have the morning energy to yell yet, but there's your but yeah, I mean it does suck though. I mean, seeing that like to have something like that happen at a young age, that's twice now. It sucks. It does suck. You do have to feel for the guy. Something also really cool, they announced it during Dynamite, so you guys are going to want to tune into this. So on Dynamite, I saw it very briefly and I heard Excalibur say it very briefly. Thursday, June 17th at 5 p.m. Eastern time on the AEW Games channel. It's going to be hosted by Ali and Aubrey. It's their two-point show. It's going to be the fourth one. But the big thing with this one is, you gamers out there, we're getting another big update on the console game for AEW.
Awesome. Yay!
And I guess they're gonna also talk about the GM game, which they did send out beta tests for. We were invited. I forgot to download it and play it, unfortunately. I just had a lot going on, but I can wait for the game. It's okay. But apparently we're gonna get an update on how good it was, and if there's gonna be major updates, and apparently we're gonna get a release date. So you're gonna want to tune into that AEW show on AEW Games, and I'm excited for the console game, to be honest. I for them to be taking so much time with it, it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good. But anywho,
Let's talk about Dynamite.
Tell Dynamite, and I know unfortunately it was taped. You know what was weird though last night?
Felt like a weird vibe off the Dynamite. I don't know how you felt about it, but I felt like it was off, except for like a couple of matches.
Yeah, I think it's because we got so used to seeing the fans over the last couple of episodes and double.
No, I don't think it was the fans though. I just think about like the episode itself. I'm not like putting that into the whole thing that it's because of the fans. I just feel like
it wasn't a big episode. It felt like a smaller episode of Dynamite.
Yeah, it didn't excite me as much, except for a couple little things in here. But I felt like, I don't know. That was my thought on it.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Wasn't their best.
No.
I don't know. I think maybe it was the pairing of the actual matches. Like it wasn't matches that got me like excited. And on paper, like some of them really should have, but they didn't.
I thought they would end the show with the tag team match with the
Death
Triangle and the Bucks.
It was not like I feel like their main events lately, how they've been placing them is a little off for me.
Yeah, if it's a TNT title, sure, but if it's like something like we got, like the
maybe
random
that
tag team
should have
match,
been the main event. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a weird chosen main event.
It was just a weird ending. I mean, I get it, but I don't know. Like I said, I just feel like the placing's off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Maria thinks they're waiting for bigger things. Yeah, they could be. I mean,
they need bigger things because some of the storylines I'm just not into.
Maybe could it be? It could be just like they're like, let's just get through. They're kind of just like, let's just get through June. Like, let's just get through this month, guys. Let's just we'll still try and book some good shows here, but let's like. Once we get going on the road, we're gonna start unveiling all this shit. We're gonna start going hard.
It shouldn't be like that because I feel like that's gonna turn away fans. You know, and it's like the fact that they're moving on to Fridays. I understand like temporarily because we have the playoffs going on, so that's why. But wouldn't you book stuff to, bring those numbers in because the numbers? I think
the numbers would have been what they were regardless because no one's amping up to watch Dynamite at 10 o'clock on a Friday
it's hard,
night.
10 o'clock
the
at night.
slot really killed them. And
why
put so much effort into a show if you're not going to get the viewership?
Yeah, but a lot of people also too is like us, like that we watched it on the DVR the next day. So, but it's all right. So those numbers, I need them to move away from some of the storylines. Yes, we're getting matches that we haven't seen, but some of the storylines I can still do it out. Like I can really do it out with the Cody and QT Marshall one. Like I don't know what it is. It's just too weird for me. I just can't get behind it.
That was odd. I would thought it was cool that like Arn's kid just looks like a young Arn. I was just like, what the fuck?
Right?
Did they put Arn in a time machine? Like what's going on here?
Like Jungle Boy's another one.
So Brock Anderson is going to make his debut next week. He's going to team up with Cody to face QT and the other guy. I always forget his name. One of the kids. But it really just for me forgetting just shows how much interest I have in this entire storyline, and you can tell the fans too because at Double or Nothing, no one really cared about that match. That was the match that everyone was quiet for.
Yeah, they need to move away from it because I think a lot of people feel the same way.
They're dragging it a little bit too much. Like no one cares anymore. Like the Go and Cody thing should have been the end of it, and you move on because like now they're just dragging it with this QT thing. And even like listening to QT last night, I in my head, I don't do this a lot, but in my head watching it, I was like, okay, QT, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but you know what? I have high hopes for Brock Anderson because even the fact that like you guys know, like I've interviewed Joey Silver on the Under the Rope series and he's been training over there and he told me it's been really nice to see Cody every day and like he's been getting like really good training. So I have high hopes for the training aspect of it for the new coming kids, even though it's like, okay, you're new, I don't know you, but I do have high hopes for what we're going to see in the ring.
So we'll see. I mean, they did. Excuse me. The opening Dynamite was a little odd. I mean, I enjoyed the match with Christian and Helico. That was man.
Really?
Like,
It was
speaking of
awesome.
time machines, Christian just stepped out of one. He had to have. Like, there's no way this guy is coming in every single Dynamite and wrestling the way he is. And I'm like, Christian, did you just step out of 2003? Because what the hell? I think he's wrestling better than he did in 2003.
Yeah.
Man, this version of Christian we're getting right now, guys, if you're not appreciating this, I don't know why you're even watching Dynamite, because the what we're getting out of Christian right now at his age, to be doing what he's doing with the people he's doing at his age, is truly remarkable.
Yeah.
And he's putting on bangers, which again leads me to think this is probably why they're saving Christian and Omega, because you know that match is going to be so effing good. If Christian's having like these banger matches with like, I don't want to use the word mid card, but like with the Kenny's on our upper echelon of talent, right? When you think of like the top people in AEW, you're thinking like Moxley, Hangman, you're thinking of Kenny Omega, the Bucks, Cody, like everyone's got that ceiling up there. Then like, you know, everyone falls underneath. Unfortunately, it's not, and they can't, they're all not the same, guys. Kenny Omega is not, like a Jack Evans is not the same as a Kenny Omega. That's not it. But like for Christian to have those banger matches with those talent, and he still hasn't had a match with Kenny Omega yet, or like a Hangman Page.
Yeah, what are we gonna get?
It's gonna be insane.
I mean, I need more TH2. I've been saying this for the longest. I mean, it seemed like a little off, but I mean, Conrad said in chat, he goes, Christian has been great, slowing everything down and making little in-ring stuff matter. So, exactly. I mean, that is true. And maybe that's what it is, because I'm so used to Angelico and Helico, you know, being so fast paced. I know. I'm sorry.
You know what I think of when you say that? I think of the name Angelica. I want to call him Angelica
from Rugrats.
We got Jack Evans and Angelica here.
Yeah. So maybe that's what it is, but I don't know. Like, it was a little weird for me. I don't know. I don't know if I've been like weird with like Dynamite lately. So, but I mean, Christian's great. But you know what cracked me up when Jack Evans went to go at Christian, and he just like looked at him, and then he like ran off on the side of the ring.
Jack Evans has a lot of like mannerisms that are hilarious if you like watch him closely.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys, like even like there's a couple of people in AEW that have like great facial expressions, like Jack Evans. Tay Conti is one of them that comes to mind as well, not just because she's my fave, but like her facial expressions.
Matt Jackson.
Yeah, Matt Jackson. The Young Bucks, when they're the way they are right now.
Yeah. Matt cracks me up.
Yeah, Matt Hardy attacking Christian second week in a row. Looks like that's heading towards, I'm assuming, one of the special events.
Or Fighter Fest. I mean, yeah, it's got to be.
Who knows? Spin the wheel. There's 4 of them going in July.
Yeah.
So, man. It's just what makes me think. I mean, when they announced that, I'm like, should Jungle Boy and Kenny even be next week then? They probably should have pushed that. That could have headlined one of those shows. They could have built
every
this.
Time I look at freaking Jungle Boy, I just see like Luke Perry. It's so scary. Man. It's so scary. I'm like, when he came out last night, I was like, how scary. Like sometimes like you see it more than other times, but last night I was like, oh my God, like,
can someone take
Dylan McKay, man?
Can someone grab Luke Perry's picture and crop Jungle Boy's hair and mutton chops on him, please? I guarantee you won't know the difference.
No. It's so crazy.
It's crazy, but yeah, him came out in like the normal clothes there.
Yeah.
With the Kenny side, I mean, like Kenny and Don, they're all about this conspiracy. All right. This weird conspiracy that the AEW is trying to take the title off him, and even last night. So last night I saw clips. So Impact had Against All Odds last night, and they had the main event in Daly's place, which looked really cool. Which I listened to some of the clips. They made it sound like Impact. You know what I mean? Like it was quiet. There was wrestlers around the ring, but it was mostly quiet for the most part. So they kind of took Impact's like quietness now, because I think that would have been weird. I think they did a good job with that, because that would have been weird if, you know, they had all the wrestlers at ringside and cheering and piping in fake crowd noise when the rest of the pay-per-view there's no crowd.
Right.
Which is good for Impact because I think was it Slammiversary is actually going to have people in there, so good for them. But yeah, the calls Jungle Boy a one-hit wonder, just like his theme song.
Oh my
And I was
God.
like, oh.
I was dead.
But it's cool. Kenny was actually throwing him props, saying like, I see a young Kenny in you, but something's missing. And then they did the guts thing. And then Jungle Boy comes out, they brawl. This is what I mean, but I sitting there like, okay, this is actually going to be like a dope match. Like Jungle Boy and Kenny is going to be a barn burner.
Right.
But then when they announced all those events, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, like they missed the ball. But you gotta have something to tune in, right?
Yeah,
tune in
Saturday
like
night.
Yeah. Gotta have something to tune in.
There's going to be big sports on that night. So, I mean, I see why they did it. Because Saturday night, the NHL playoffs are going to be going on. The NBA playoffs, there's sure to be an NBA playoff game somewhere on Saturday night. So it's going to be interesting.
Oh my God. Kenny's outfit yesterday. I was loving it. Shout out to Queen of NE because like # wrestling fashion, man. Like I was just loving like I'm loving the whole outfits. I love the choices.
It's Kenny, man. He's a bougie champ. I love this version of Kenny.
Bougie. He is bougie.
Speaking of, I guess speaking of outfits, the Young Bucks, I think
Oh my God, I love it.
I think they wore it before. I couldn't tell.
No, that was new.
That was new?
That was
Okay.
new. It was just, you know what it is? They throw you up like the headband, but the pants were new.
Okay, so the Bucks teamed with Cutler. Dammit, Cutler. It's the name of our podcast today. Pac and Pentagon and Eddie Kingston. Pac really didn't want to team with Eddie Kingston because we know the history there, and they showed that backstage promo before the match, and Pac just didn't want to look at Eddie, and you saw throughout the match that he just didn't want to work with him, and you saw near the end of the match that he finally started working with him, and Cutler basically cost him the match. He tagged himself in and couldn't finish the match. He ended up taking the pin, and
Damn it, Cutler. Seriously.
And then the Young Bucks, then the Good Brothers came out. There's a beatdown.
This was good,
You know,
though.
the Elite Killer. I'm not behind it, guys. You probably are, but Kazarian coming out and they say, "Oh, it's the Elite Killer. It's Kazarian."
Yeah, what the Elite Killer?
Like, the
what the
Elite
heck?
Killer?
I don't
What?
like it.
I are they trying to push this on him? Like, are they just?
I know. I still like that, like Cutler during the match, like he sprayed like Nick with the spray bottle, like during the freaking match. And I'm like, yo, how cool is that gonna be for Cutler though? Like you're working with your like best friends, having this crazy match. You're in the ring with all these great guys
Wearing
in the ring,
expensive
like
shoes.
the dream. Yeah, like I love Cutler. Like me and Kyle just love Cutler, but
I thought, but this was what, like you see this match on card, and you're like, yeah, this is gonna be a great match. And it was great. It was very, very unreal. But Cutler costing the match.
Well, you knew Cutler was gonna cost the match. That's why he was in there to protect everybody else.
Tomorrow. BT tomorrow is gonna be very interesting with Cutler in the box.
Oh my God, with him going after with the camera again, but then gets like thrown off.
Yeah, well, we're gonna see that footage.
Yeah, I love seeing footage like that.
I thought this was cool though. This was cool last night. I keep saying last night because I watched it last night, Friday night.
Yeah.
The Pinnacle. So they come out for an in-ring promo, and they're all cutting promos on the Inner Circle. So like FTR's cutting promo on Santana Ortiz, my boy Spears. I was wondering how he's gonna twist it and talk about Sammy beating him and basically just calling him a glorified indie wrestler, and that's I basically like I perform professional wrestling. You're just a high-flying indie mark guy, and Wardlow on JK, and I'm sitting there listening to Wardlow, and I'm looking at Wardlow. After he was done talking, I'm like, man, this guy's just, I see future world champion with this guy. Like, he could be a big, massive single star in this company, and I can't wait for when he does break out.
I would love it, like even like the TNT champ. Like I see that like later.
Oh, it's gonna be later. Like
it's gonna be later. I can see him with like the TNT. I mean, I think a lot of fans are behind him. I mean, we've been talking about it for a long time. Like, you just see give him more time.
It's just next week they're doing something next week where I'm not too much of a fan of.
Yeah. Like
the MMA style cage fight. I'm like, do we have to do this in wrestling? Like, because you don't know what you're gonna get because you think either way you lose. And shouts to my friends over there across the pond, RTM Wrestling, and they talked about this on their last podcast, that whichever way they go here, they're going to lose in the end, because if they go and do like a real MMA fight, people don't want to see that in professional wrestling. That's not something people actually want to see in pro wrestling, because that's not pro wrestling.
Right.
Like people don't like that. Or if they go the other direction, people want to watch it. If they go and watch, there's that outlet for them. There's Bellator, there's UFC. Right. You don't need to bring that world into this world.
I think also too, like, it will bring more fans over, maybe. That's the concept. If you think
it was a bigger name.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, that could be something like to try to.
If
like,
they had McGregor in there, sure, that's where you get the fans in there. But if it's Hager and Wardlow, who, if you go ask a regular UFC fan, they're gonna be like, who?
I mean, I'm not for it,
And then, but if they do the other way, Tiff, this is where they lose in the end again. If they do a shoot style fight where you were watching, you're like, hey, this is fake. Like, why are they even doing this? Why didn't they just go into a match in the ring or have a regular cage match?
Yeah.
In the end, they're gonna lose either way. So I don't like that they're doing this next week. I'm not a fan.
We're thinking that, but watch it be like really, really.
I hope so.
A lot of times that like me and Kyle like, we're not into this, but then like it turns out like I like moments like that, and that's the nice thing about I feel like AEW does for me, is that a lot of times, like sometimes that I'm not behind certain things, I wind up getting behind certain things. So low expectations with a big payout, hopefully.
I really hope so. For some reason, that my guts tell me it's gonna be cinematic as hell,
well,
and it's gonna look real because of the cinematic stuff. So I hope they do at least some sort of good job with it. But that's next week. So everyone's like calling each other out, and then MJF gets on Jericho. Very good promo, but MJF's the only one to deny Jericho of a rematch. Everyone else accepted their rematches except Jericho, which makes me think that next week we're getting the Wardlow and Jake Hager match. Mm-hmm. Probably going to get Spears against Sammy in one of the first 2 weeks of July. Then we're going to get FTR against Santana and Ortiz, and I think Fight for the Fallen, which is the last one of the month. That's when we're going to get MJF and Jericho, or
do you think they're going to drag it all the way out?
Drag it to all out.
That's what I'm thinking.
And that's going to be the big match.
Is Jericho kind of still hurt? Maybe that's why they're like
dragging it out. Yeah.
Dragging it out. So, I mean, I feel like that might be more attention and a bit like, oh, okay, well, we're pulling it all the way out to all out.
Because you've seen when because they moved on here and they started destroying the limo. If you were watching Jericho closely, he wasn't going full ham as the other guys were.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that maybe the possibility of the last one in July, but if he's injured, maybe they're just like going to drag it out to all out.
I think so. Or maybe like it's like hashtag, it's like, quote unquote booked.
Yeah.
For Fight for the Fallen, and MJF doesn't show up.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Something like that.
But I bust out. Can we talk about the limo being destroyed? Yeah. Because I couldn't stop laughing with the forklift cut. Like I lost my shit here. Like I couldn't stop laughing.
I think Hager had trouble, to be honest. Do you see? Like I thought he was gonna. He charged at first, then he did like an abrupt stop. I'm like, oh, did he accidentally hit the brake?
I'm sorry, but that shit was the funniest thing. And then it being lifted off. I'm like, yo.
I think he wanted it to fall, but it wasn't falling. And he just said, screw it, and then lowered the thing back down.
No, I was dead. It didn't matter. It popped the shit out of me yesterday. But I like even at the ending that they all get on the forklift and they're driving off. I'm like, yo, this is gold. This is like where I wasn't so crazy about the promos. I'm like, okay, there's still that piece of me that really isn't into the whole thing. I'm like, okay, here we go. We're going to have this continue on and on and on. But when they destroyed the limo, that's when I was like, okay, attention. All right, let's go. I'm all into this right now.
This is basically the feud of these guys have been feuding since the beginning of the year. That's
what I'm saying. I feel like, it's being dragged out, but then they do a very good job of pulling me back in.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was great. And then I don't know what that word meant that he was spray painting on the side of the car. I was trying to read it. I'm like, I don't know what that means. They should have just wrote something that everyone could have read.
I know, Murray. I want to go to All Out again too. Oh man.
Yeah, what the limo do to anyone? Poor limo. But Darby's decision, we kind of called this.
Hey, I called it. Did I say it? I said it. I was like,
okay, hold on. Let's take 25% off there. I think we both kind of said it.
You didn't say it. I said it. You said it after.
Telling you, we'll go back.
Okay, we're gonna go back because I was the one that called it.
Even if I eventually agreed with you, we still both said it, Tiff.
You agreed with me.
Okay, Tiff, do you want your crown here? Let me go grab it here.
Yeah, hold on.
There's your crown. Do you want a trophy? I got Timmy. Yes, I got Kimmy's wrestling trophy over here.
No, but I'm not Kimmy. I'm Tiffany. So here we go.
I'm not Kimmy. I'm Tiffany. Are you? Is that what that name says? He tells. The weird part of this promo though was there's friction because he was like telling Sting to stay at home, and Sting was like, "The hell," and like Darby drops the line like, "I don't need you," kind of line.
Yeah. And
he said it like pissed offly. And I was like, oh. I'm like, is this a seed planted? Is this to move the soil out of the way, put the seed in, put it back on top, get your little watering bucket, pour it, watch for a couple weeks, make sure there's sunlight on it. Got to make sure there's a lot of sunlight on your plant too for it to grow. Then you want to keep watering your plant. You're going to let it grow out, make sure you put a stem, make sure it does grow up properly. A lot of people put the wooden stick down to make sure it does grow up properly, your plants there. I kind of was like doing a Bob Ross plant gardening moment there.
That's why I'm looking at you.
But yes, seed planted, I think.
Oh, shit.
Seed planted. But Darby's going to take him on in a handicap match next week.
Woohoo.
Which I kind of think that...
Oh, God.
Sting's still going to show up.
He probably is.
I think Sting's going to show up still. He's going to show up in some form. Oh
my God, Kyle.
What?
My camera is so blurry on your end.
It just turned blurry. It was fine for the whole show. So I don't know what you did. And I just opened up Zoom.
I didn't do anything because in my Zoom, I'm crisp.
In my Zoom, you're not. So I know it's not OBS. I don't know what just happened. It was fine all show. There you go. Look. Maybe. Oh, well, there you go. Oh, look, now you're normal again. Damn it, Kyle.
I gotta get a ring light.
But next week.
But it's crazy. Anyway.
So that match is happening next week as well. So there's the quote unquote handicap match, which it probably will be a handicap match, but I imagine Sting comes out at some point or comes out at the end and he gets pissed off at Sting and probably pushes him. I can foresee a shove of some sort. And I think Sting and Darby Allin are going to go at it eventually.
Yeah, I think so.
So this was, again, Bob Ross seed planted.
That was funny.
Miro versus Evil Uno. So 2 O's facing off each other, TNT belt. Man, Miro still looks so good with championship gold. When he comes out, man, he just looks
like a champ.
Like a champion.
Yeah.
Like he needs to like just hold gold for a while because he looks so great with it. And it was a good match. Very, very good match. I'm loving that. I think it's really cool. They're incorporating -1 a lot. And I saw a lot of people hating on that. People were shitting on -1. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? He's 12 years old. Like, leave him alone.
I mean, I saw that. Well, we talked about this, right? The last time about they were saying that he wasn't on Dynamite because his grades were going down or something.
Yeah.
So the mom was like, oh, you're not going to be back there if your grades are going to slip and stuff.
Right. And then they actually made him a roster. He's on the roster page, which is really cool. That's a really cool tribute as well. Like,
it's so nice.
When to see people shitting on him, like, what's wrong with you people? Like, but I'm like, wrestling Twitter is mad at something again.
Always.
Shocker. I don't have my soundboard, guys. I'm sorry. I'm still investigating as why it's not working anymore. It's like it knows. It's like, Kyle, you're not being extra on AEP. Stop it. No, stop it. But I saw the cool hype vignette for Andrade for next week. So next week he's sitting with JR, but that vignette, that quick 20-second, it got me hyped for him. Like, man. It
made him look really good. We just we always say this. We've been saying this from the beginning. The vignettes of AEW,
they're on point.
Kudos to you guys. Yeah. But yeah, this is how you make us believe in the wrestlers. And this just got me hyped. I'm like, yes. So I really thought we were going to see him today. And I was, Friday. And I was like, okay, so we're going to wait another week. But it got me hyped because now I want more.
I'm just wondering.
How did I break the soundboard? Yes, I somehow crossed the border and messed with Kyle's soundboard. I don't know how you did. Because he annoyed the crap out of me.
I don't know how you got across the board. Our borders are tight.
Went over there. I was like, "Hey,
Oh, you're Canadian for sure. Come on in.
I have coffee, Chris."
Yeah, you said coffee kiss. That's when the red flag comes up when you call it coffee crisp. They're like, wait a minute.
Oh, I can't.
But yeah, the Miro and Evil Uno matches. So Evil Uno, man, I know it was piped in noise. And I know that the wrestlers were told to cheer for Evil Uno, but just thinking back to the times they had crowd over the last couple of weeks of how over the Dark Order are and how they're going to be every week they come out on Dynamite when they start touring again, Tiff. And we say all the time, they've come such a long way, this group.
Yeah.
Like, you remember when they first started? Remember when it was just Evil Uno and Grayson and they had the Creepers? They had the Creepers, your favorite, the people.
Oh, the people that I see at indie shows, the best.
And remember, they used to make a chair for Uno and he used to sit on them.
I can't.
And everyone was like, what the hell is this?
Oh, God.
But, oh, man, they're the most over thing in AEW right now. It's incredible.
Great.
But, yeah, I can, man, it's either going to be them or it's going to be the Death Triangle that wins the first trios belts. It's got to be one, the match should be those two. It should be Death Triangle against Dark Order for the belts.
Oh, I'd be so for it.
And I have a gut feeling that it might happen at All Out. I think it's going to happen sooner than later.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
I'm for it. But either team, I wouldn't even care. I'd be very happy.
So Nyla Rose faced Layla. Okay, I laughed. I know you're not supposed to laugh when people make these kinds of jokes.
Oh, my
but
God.
Nyla Rose comes out. She's facing Layla Hirsch, and she comes out and has a stool, like those plastic stools that you can find anywhere, but writes legit Shorty on it.
I did bust out laughing. I was like...
And I was like, oh, God. And then Layla comes out, looks at it, and just she whips it at Vicky Guerrero. I pop for that. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's fantastic. And Layla Hirsch is so good. I know she's short. She's right on that line. My gosh, she's so good. I can't believe. I'm so glad they signed her.
I know you love her.
She brings another style of wrestling to the women's division. You need to have multiple styles. You can't just have the same woman over and over again. So you have Taynara with her judo, right? You have Serena Deeb with the years and years of wrestling behind her. You have now Layla Hirsch, who's a very great mat wrestler. She's all about that mat wrestling. I love that style of wrestling. This was a great match. Huge turnbuckle powerbomb for the win from Nyla, obviously, because they're building this whole Brit thing. Brit cut a promo backstage on Nyla and just basically says, Nyla, you're just added to the list of jealous bitches backstage.
Oh, my God. I just love it.
Oh, man.
I love that Brit champ. I really do.
I just loved when she said that Reba's face. She was like, ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it looks like they are doing Nyla. It looks like the first feud's Nyla and Britt. Still not completely sold on it. I think they need to keep doing what they're doing now and build it up more. Mm-hmm. Maybe one of those events. I think we're gonna get Nyla versus Britt for the belt. After Nyla most likely squashes a few more people and gets up the rankings, just so, because I know they like to make that matter. Especially Britt's been making that matter over the last year. She's always going on about the rankings, so I think they're gonna want to make Nyla go up to number one and make it make sense, which is great. And then I don't think anything else happened on Dynamite besides the main event that we didn't talk about already.
But the Ethan and Scorpio, we talked about that. Archer with the squash match. I love how he won the match. Yeah, it was Chandler Hopkins, and it was just a squash match, and then he didn't even raise his hand. He just split. I was like, okay. I was like, this is the best part ever. I was like, okay, here we go. We got a squash match, but I just love how he just stormed out.
So I raised the question: are they running into an issue with Lance Archer?
I feel like they are. I feel like they dropped the ball on him. They really did. They need to give him a feud. There need to be
something, because I think they're gonna start. Yeah. You're gonna start losing a lot of interest with Lance Archer, because he was so huge before coming to this company, and then he finally comes here, and unfortunately, COVID happened. That really did put a halt in everything. And I mean, he's had some great feuds over the COVID era.
Yeah, but give him a real storyline feud.
Yeah, that's
That's what he needs.
We don't need him coming out and squashing someone.
Yeah,
we've seen this a billion times.
We know he's scary. We know like he can wrestle and he's really good. And like I was so excited for the signing, and it's like they dropped the ball. They didn't do anything with him. It's like give him a storyline. Give him like
damn it, his debut was against Marco Stunt. You remember that? Remember when he debuted in the remember when they had Dynamite in the QT gym and he literally threw him.
Yeah, they really like give him something, give him a feud, like give him a whole storyline because he needs it. Maybe after the whole Inner Circle and Pinnacle, like have him and Sammy feud, or like give him something.
Well, source from a source. Conrad, Everything Pro Wrestling podcast in the chat. Shout outs to you, Conrad. Says rumor has it that Archer is getting something big storyline wise, which I really hope so. Good. I really do hope that he needs a story. Yeah.
Story.
It's hard because right now I think of everybody that he could have a good storyline with. They're involved in storylines currently.
I know. He needs something. Because again, I think he's like a fan favorite, and he needs a storyline.
And I also like Hype. I love his theme song. His theme song is the best. Like everybody dies singing like it's just, and he sings it when he's on the turnbuckle, and man, he's dope. He's dope. They need to do something because he's not just a big wrestler. He's a big wrestler that is very good in the ring and it brings a lot more to his moveset. Like when he does that tightrope walk and then the backflip.
That's what I'm saying. Give me more. I want to see more. Give me more. That's all I'm saying. Give me more.
Speaking of big guys, main event had Powerhouse Hobbs and Brian Cage versus Hangman and 10. I mean, great main event match. It was very physical. It was good again, but I did feel like there could have been another match in the main event. This could have been this could have had to open the show, and this would have been a great opener.
Yeah.
But then we saw at the end, it finally happened. Ricky starts through the title in. Cage whipped the FTR belt down, and I'm like, okay, so for some reason. That belt's coming off Brian Cage extremely soon. It's going to be at one of those events, I think, in July. So, like, he gets in Ricky's face, and Ricky slaps him. And, Ricky can't really get physical, so he, quote-unquote, sort of chased. That really wasn't a chase, like a slow walk him to the back. Left Powerhouse Hobbs out there. Hangman and 10 get the win. Hangman and the Dark Order celebrate with beers, and -1 had a water bottle, which is adorable. But it was great, and I'm interested to see where this goes. So I know now it kind of looks like they really want Brian Cage. They're doing a good job here because if Brian Cage is going to go babyface here and separate from Team Taz, they're doing a good job of slowly doing that until they hit the fans, because the fans are going to love that. When Brian Cage leaves Team Taz, Brian Cage is going to become a really good babyface, and the fans are going to eat that up. So I think Brian Cage is going to have to face Powerhouse Hobbs, or whether he faces a Hook and Powerhouse helps him win the FTW belt back. But I think that belt's coming off Cage sometime soon. Because that was he just whipped it down like it was a piece of shit. Taz was like freaking out on commentary. Which shouts to Taz. I know this was taped, but Taz did go into surgery a couple days ago. He tweeted out before Dynamite saying that he's getting a lump taken out of his neck. Is going to surgery, so hopefully that went well. I haven't really checked up on updated on him, but I'm sure it went well. Yeah, I mean, wasn't like a over the top. Oh, that was such a great episode of Dynamite. It was good. I thought it was a good episode. There was a lot of cool matches. Again, it really wasn't. There was something with it that didn't feel. Maybe because it was the time slot, but even looking back at it, there wasn't the greatest booked matches. But again, we say this time and time again.
Great things, yeah. We'll get more.
We say it's time and time again. They can't come out with pay-per-view like Dynamites week after week after week, because we're going to get sick and tired of that. And they're going to get to a point like, what do they have to do to go over that? And they're not going to find it. They're going to hit a ceiling. You don't want them to hit that ceiling.
Right.
So I think it was decent. It was good. And I enjoyed myself. Can't wait for next week. Jungle Boy and Kenny are going to freaking tear the house down. That's going to be insane. That's the main event. It's confirmed that that's the main event, and that's a proper main event because it is for the world title. It's going to be great. It's going to be good. I know people, you can't ask the question, do you think Jungle Boy is going to win? Because he's obviously not going to win. It would be great. It would be sweet. It would be insane, but
not yet.
It doesn't make sense because Kenny just came out with a shirt, a belt collector shirt that I am going to be buying.
No.
Don't you
That's gonna
bet
be
your
the
ass
last.
into buying that
That's
belt.
gonna be the last belt that comes off of him.
Yeah.
I still believe eventually it's gonna go to Hangman Page.
Yeah. I think in 2 weeks it's the 26th. Oh, is it not next week? Yeah, next week's the 20th. Oh, no, it's not this week.
Oh no, it's 2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks. My bad. I see, technically, I guess we're still in the previous
Yeah,
week.
we're good. We're Dynamite's Friday, the 18th. And then next week.
My bad. I didn't mean the next episode, Dynamite. I mean, in 2 weeks we're going to get that. So this episode, I didn't see exactly what I saw a couple of matches booked for this week, but I don't really remember off the top of my head. But anywho, yes. Great episode, Dynamite. And so again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in live. It's a great morning here, and to end off the show for you guys is probably one of the most popped moments of our podcast each and every single week here, just for you guys, done by our friends at the 5 Second Rule Podcast, our very own Manscaped commercial.
Hi, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Kyle. And we're here for Kyle.
Today's special product, Manscaped.
Are you looking like a Sasquatch around your crotch? Well, don't just take it from us. Take it from WWE Hall of Famer Dusty Rhodes.
Listen, Daddy, if the dream knows about anything, it is Manscaped. And I used to cruise down the boulevard with Sapphire with my balls looking like a Thanksgiving Day turkey, baby. They were so smooth and nice, and I did it by using the Lawnmower 3.0, Daddy. And the best thing about it, moisture resistant, waterproof, Daddy. I'm talking about my nuts used to look like a water slide, baby. Not anymore, because the hair is gone. It looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin's head. It is so nice, baby. Don't leave you downstairs looking dusty. Take it from the dream.
Nothing means nothing without Manscaped, brother, yeah.
And now, a song from the Jobbers.
Don't rub me the wrong way. I've been chafing all day. I need a Manscaped. When it hurts real bad and you can smell my ass, I need a Manscaped. Don't sweat it. I need a Manscaped. Don't sweat it. Oh, I need a Manscaped. I need a Manscaped. Yeah. Don't sweat it.
Yeah, don't regret it.
Don't sweat it. Oh, I need a Manscaped. I need a Manscaped. I need a Manscaped. Yeah.
Need the Manscaped.
That's right. The famous commercial continuing on here. Oh, no.
You know me and Kyle are singing in the background and dancing, right?
Yeah.
I
why,
need a Manscaped.
why you disappear, Tiff? Why you disappear? There you go. You're good. You're good. No. It was my end. Don't worry. But yes, it's one of our favorite commercials. Thank you again to the 5 Second Rule Podcast, my buddy Anthony, for making that commercial for us. It's going to continue to play now because we are officially sponsored by Manscaped. Do need to talk to him. We might get an updated song. We might get a remix. We'll see.
Remix.
Remix. I don't know if it's gonna have I don't know if it's gonna have T-Pain and auto-tune, but we never know, right? He's more of a butt rock kind of guy, so we'll see what happens.
What? Butt rock?
Butt
what?
rock, like the singer that's like the Creed. Can you take me higher? That's butt rock. Anything like that, like Chad Kroger from Nickelback.
I love Creed.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in live. If you're watching live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, wherever you're watching live, we do appreciate you each and every single week watching us live here. I know we're at crazy times here in the month of June because of the Dynamites being all over the place.
Yeah, so just bear with us.
Because
so
July,
we'll probably got two
they're all
more
back to
crazy,
Wednesdays.
and then we'll go back to our Thursdays.
Yeah. So we'll be back. Like our regular times are usually Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But yeah, thank you for bearing with us. If you're downloading this episode, you audio listeners, y'all are my favorite. You know it. You guys can download the episode on audio through the No Holds Barred Network. So wherever you're getting your audio platform, whether it's Anchor, Spotify, Google, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, wherever you're finding your podcast today, search up the No Holds Barred Network. You will find the All Elite Podcast and all the other wonderful podcasts we do offer here on the No Holds Barred Network, like Tiffany with her Indie Talks and her Under the Rope series, interviewing independent stars. We just signed a new podcast to the network, Kimmy Talks Wrestling. She talks a lot of WWE stuff. She got you covered with the NXT Raw and SmackDown review. She did the predictions for TakeOver. So go check her out, guys. She's live on the podcast now. I actually got to convert her last couple episodes to audio, which they'll be on audio soon. And shout outs to you guys in the live chat. Again, you guys are the best, interacting, talking AEW with us, hearing me and Tiff chit-chat and ramble about AEW each and every single week. It's you guys that keep me and Tiff going here. So again, thank you so much to you guys. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all our Patreon members that are signed up right now. Guys, as little as $1 a month supports the network. You guys get exclusive content like the free-for-all episodes that me and Tiff do. We're going to be doing a Disney episode soon. It's going to be great. I have a lot of stuff actually planned for that Disney episode because I found a few links that are going to be cool for that episode. So tune in, stay tuned for that. And then, again, this was a really early morning edition of All Elite Podcast, which I don't know if we've ever done this early before.
It's been a very long time since we've done an early one. We've done like the coffee. We've done early, so
we've done the
been a long
coffee.
time.
So guys, it's not
Coffee.
a coffee. It's coffee. Remember?
Yeah.
Please remember.
Just for you guys know, what's it called? If you are a Patreon, I put a poll out for our snack crate because the one on Twitter, it evened out. So I broke it down to Thailand and Hawaii. So if you're a Patreon, go vote today. So me and Kyle can order our snack crate. So I think it's down to Thailand and Hawaii. So go pick for me and Kyle. So definitely.
Oh, excuse me. Anywho, I should have a coffee burp.
All right, let's
wrap it up, guys. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kyle Masters. I'm your self-proclaimed greatest host. As always, a Canadian guy, which I'm not wearing the shirt because it is in the laundry today. And I'm always joined by my co-host. She's the EVP Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the Queen of the Indies, the Lady of the Light Tubes. I remembered all her nicknames. That's Tiffany. And ladies and gentlemen, like we do always here in the podcast, we let our good friend Kenny Omega to sign us off.
Goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bang. Goodbye.